Hi, it's Pete the Hipster King, and we hairy game lords have played Frostpunk. What did we think? Stay tuned to find out. So this was a big Kickstarter that got delivered, and this was one I went a little bit almost all in on. So basically, it's based on the computer game of the same name, which I think James has played, and is a pretty brutal survival game where you are. It's kind of set in a dystopian, I think, slightly historic England, where basically there's been a massive kind of ice age type thing, and everybody has headed up north because they heard there's coal up in their hills or valleys or in the mines, and you are going to try and find those resources and fuel a big generator and try and live out your existence. The reality is it's going to be bloody hard. The whole game is going to keep doing things to try and kill you off. And you've got to do everything you can to try and stay alive. And in the first scenario you've got to stay alive for 12 rounds. There are 8 ways to die and only one way to win. And I say win is basically survive rather than win. We made it all the way through to round 7. And I say we got to round 7 as in the very beginning of round 7 we died. So actually we played 6 rounds, but we'll class it as 7. I think it was the 7th round when we actually died. You can die from hunger, you can die from losing all hope, you can die from basically everybody hating you and sending you out because you're such a bad leader. Your generator can explode. You can be too hungry, or you can all die of sickness and people dying. If you like your games brutal, if you like co-op games where you are really going to struggle to win, if you like games that can be played solo or co-op, and where the game is going to pretty much make you cry, it's going to never get any better. It's going to fool you into thinking you're doing all right every now and again. Those games where one little tiny win at the start of a turn feels like you've won the game, only for the next card to reveal to kind of tear your heart out and stamp all over it. If that's the kind of game you like, Frostpunk will be one of those for you. The minute I saw this, I knew it had us written all over it. It's complex, it's tough. It does make sense when you play it, but it's pretty hard getting your head around the rulebook. The guys did a great job. The way that the co-op is set up, you all have a job to do. And that job means that you take over kind of a quarter of the running of the game. There's a lot of upkeep in this game. And so splitting it amongst the 4 people was really, really a brilliant idea by the designers. So each person takes on running part of the game. And then at the start of each round, really, you kind of have that discussion about what should we do this round? What are we aiming to get? What are we going to try and manage? We've got this many workers, resources are over here. How are we going to do it? What order are we going to do things in? Are we going to bring in a law? Because you can enact laws that change up the game. But I think that design element where you all have a section to do made this a slightly easier teach. There's still a lot to get through in terms of the teach, but each person reading their little sort of cue card has a pretty good idea of some of the core of the game, which really, really helps. And for the first time, I think, in Hairy Game Lord history, both Ange and Dave read some rules and understood the game, which from the beginning, which was really good. Whilst it took me about 45 minutes to set the game up, which next time we'll hopefully all help with, and it'll be much faster. It's a beast. It's a table hog, but it was an absolute thing of beauty. Really, really enjoyed it. There are some really tough decisions to make. You're sort of playing between sending the kids out to work and potentially getting very, very ill.
What's wrong with us?
Or building a nice little child shelter so they can sleep in the evenings. Get them to work. There's and all the choices like that. I've always got a kind of, we could do this and that might be really nice, or we could do this and it'll be really nasty. And what tends to happen is those decisions come back to bless you or haunt you at some point in the near future. Really, really good. I'll let the other guys tell you what they thought.
Oh, slightly Birdie James here. So, Frostpunk. Am I the only person who's played the PC game? Yeah.
Oh, not even Dave's played it. Right. So I came into this game with an idea of what Frostpunk is, and high hopes as well. Now, I don't know. I struggle with games that are PC games or whatever games, and they become a board game. I'm like, just keep it as a PC game. I don't get why people keep wanting to do it, apart from obviously the game is good, it just changes a little bit. Right, so Frostpunk on the PC is brutal. The thing that I immediately missed from the PC game is, and if you've played it, you'll recognise that was the generator starting, everybody.
Oh, right.
The soundscape. And now, okay, the soundscape is available for this because you can play it through your app and you've got this kind of background sounds, but it's not quite the same. I think the thing as well with the PC game is you've got ultimate control. You're not a five-headed monster trying to make decisions together. I think it's a four-player game, but we played it as five. And, we kind of double-headed one of them. And so you've got kind of this real kind of sense of, working together, collaboration. I love the PC game. I've completed the first level and it is absolutely hard. It's a brutal game. And the board game follows the PC game so well. It is such a great representation of the PC game. And I think the thing that this game does that the PC game doesn't do and can't do is I've never felt a stronger sense of camaraderie against a shared kind of like just struggle as I have in this game. As we played probably like 4 hours and we kind of stood around this beautiful kind of setup on the table. And I think I've never felt that kind of shared camaraderie in a co-op game. Obviously I've been on the same team as people, but never that struggle together. And I think this game delivers that so well in a way that the PC game can't. So thank you for making this.
Hi, Dave the Grey. So, Frostpunk, that is a big box. And there are more boxes. This is one of those multi-box Kickstarters that you all know, love and slightly fear. It is a beast to set up. Pete did a great job in learning the rules for us and guiding us through it. If you have the extra money to spend, you get some really cool miniatures for the houses, little generators, tents. We try not to talk about the tent. You build tents so you can have a nice, relaxing night's sleep out of the cold, and then you get a storm comes along, blows them all down, everything dies. We did build a beacon. Which meant that our guys could go out hunting and foraging for extra stuff, but that meant that they were out there disappearing off for several turns and not here, like collecting stuff and build. This is one of those games where I think where we went wrong in hindsight is we tried to do some of everything, whereas possibly you're better off going, actually, let's just sack off foraging and concentrate on expanding here, or let's not worry too much about this and go and forage properly. You need to do a job properly or don't do it at all, because we kind of fiddled around and we did this and we did put the children to work, which was nice. However, next turn after that, for some reason, a whole load of like the adults went on strike and refused to work because we like enslaved their children.
Strong words.
Don't understand how that happened. I think in the long run it was a good thing because they only went on strike for like one round and the kids worked forever. So I think we actually did come out on top with that one, but it was quite frustrating the next round when it was like, and we have no workers because they've all gone on strike. Absolutely brutal. Our generator didn't explode, so that's a good thing. We lost all hope, became miserable, and just gave up and died. If that's the kind of game you enjoy, Frostpunk is for you! Thumbs up from me. Next time we'll try and get to like round 9 or 10 maybe before we just give up and curl up in the snow and die. I was going to say it's a load of fun. It's not a load of fun. It's kind of hard work, brutal, depressing, but at the end of it, quite rewarding. So if that's the kind of game you enjoy, and you like putting your back out, lifting really heavy boxes and carrying them around, give it a go. It's dead good.
Bearded Lady here. Oh my word, this game, wow, absolutely amazing. I've played in the past games that can be quite depressing. The games that are more like of an experience. So This War of Mine. Wow. Oh, same designer. It's not a. It's as Dave was saying. It's not an enjoyable game, but it certainly is a immersive experience that you're playing. And this one, I have to say, well, all of us are extremely pleased that Hipster King went in and bought the minis expansion. The miniatures are absolutely amazing. So nice, and they come washed already. Oh, beautiful stuff. So all the different characters that we all played, me and Martin, double-headed one of the characters, which was good because it was the one containing all of these miniatures in terms of the buildings. So for us to work together on that was helpful. Earlier on, Pete mentioned that we all had, I think his words were, we all had a little crib sheet or a little playthrough card. This is the little, not this, but one of these, a double-sided A4 sheet with quite a lot of text on.
8-point font.
That's what each of us had to go through and had individual rules and stuff going on there. But that in itself really, really helpful. And yes, as Pete said, me and Dave actually read the rules and got involved, and it was a colossal setup that first time round, and maybe again the second time. But what an experience this game was. Very hard work. As James said, being in it all together, that hard slog really came over. But that, for me, makes an enjoyable game that you will think about, an experience that goes back, like Nemesis, really, where you have stories that will continue on after the game has finished. Same designer! Oh! Feel like maybe us Hairy Gaylords like this designer. Oh yeah, just some of those hard decisions. So with the Explorers, we didn't really go to town on the Explorers, and I think that maybe if we had done, we would have found some better equipment, some better things to help us long term. One of the things we did find was we found a cave with some people in it, and there was the question of, there's some supplies here that these people have got. Do you want to nick them and run off with the supplies, or do you want to bring back the people? Well, we being kind, caring types.
Even the sick child.
We brought back the kind people. Maybe we shouldn't have. Maybe we should have just robbed them. Because it didn't work out. Brilliant experience. Amazing components and artwork throughout this game. Wow. What a great game experience. Whatever you want to fill in there, it was. Big 2 thumbs up. Can't wait to play this game again.
Martin here, been playing the Frostpunk board game. Ooh, I absolutely love these games, the big cooperative games, especially survival games. I'm all about survival. It's great because everyone had their own ideas and stuff about what they think would be best to do and everything. So I was all talking about that, but there's a few decisions that we made unanimously by putting the children to work. No discussion. And starting a red light district.
Hey!
Yes, we did.
Stuff like that. Knows you're in with the right crowd. Get involved with this game. It is amazing. Loads of fun. Only a little bit depressing. Do it.
Hi, it's Pete the Hipster King, and this evening we have been.
Have we done?
Lies! It's a
Have we
4-hour
been
game!
playing? Such a liar.
Yeah, I say it every week. You can't say last week we played.
Oh, we have played.